putting the other one on a little earlier.
Whoa, I don't know if that really worked. It's seems
Was that
very
the whole
weird.
intro?
I think it.
Yeah.
I think we missed it.
I'll,
Hopefully, it really aired. I don't know. I don't know.
Try to get home early, but I'll be ready before 6:30. Or
I'm gonna mute you, Coach.
Yeah.
But yeah,
just in case he's talking about something that's none of our
something
business.
illegal. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We got Lenny Kravitz, but before we get into Lenny Kravitz, we're gonna dedicate this episode of For Music Lovers Only to Johnny Cash. He would have been like 91 today.
Real good hanging out. Good to see you again.
Yeah. So
see you next week.
Be nicer to yourself.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you. Music Lovers Only.
Hey.
Sorry for my unprofessionalism. I thought I had everything muted on my end, and it was apparently coming through on Skin Man's mic.
well, I think you are coming through on Skin Man's mic right now. Something sounds canny.
Yeah.
You do not sound like your normal professional self here.
Oh, hold on. I'll bet it's stupid settings.
We heard about all the illegal activity.
There's a lot of gremlins in the air today. I don't know. Before we get into it, one major thing is that it's not freaking negative 1,000 degrees outside. It's been pretty nice. It was a little chilly out there today, but
I hate it when it's negative 1,000 degrees. Like
yeah,
you die when that happens.
no fun. But yeah, today would have been Johnny Cash's 91st birthday, 20 years since he's been gone. I wonder, it made me start thinking when I found that out if Johnny Cash and Lenny ever kicked it, I wonder, because they definitely could have.
Yeah.
They definitely could have.
Well, I wish this thing didn't do that where it just switches over to my camera mic every once. So do I sound normal now?
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm the audio person that gets
We can't have
loud,
you sounding bad.
And then look at that. I'm so sorry. Can we start this over? Can we just reset? And I apologize.
The Gremlins, we're going to blame it on the Gremlins, but we are For Music Lovers Only, the podcast. We're going to talk Lenny Kravitz on episode 96 tonight. And as always, I got Sontia and Coach with me. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing all right. I was doing everything at the butt end of everything. Like I ate and then I was doing stuff and then I was like, oh my God, I got to go. And what's so terrible about me is I was like, I'm just going to make my list right before the show. And then that was hard. I've been listening to Lenny Kravitz like this whole time though, but I was just like, I'll just pick 5. And then
it definitely was a lot harder, and I don't know if better, but I couldn't, like I said, I still really couldn't find one sad Lenny Kravitz songs. Lenny Kravitz wrote some sad songs, but he made him sound so happy because he is so positive.
Yeah.
And his sad songs are about 2 women fighting over him. I'm like, get out of here, come on. I would like to have 2 sandwiches fight after me, come on. But yeah, it seems like it was hard for me to get into, but I finally, put it down and I enjoyed it.
You start to enjoy life too much.
Yeah, I struggled with some of his stuff, and nothing negative. Like what I come to find is I like Lenny Kravitz rock and roll. I'm not as sure I like his love funk as much. If you like Prince, if you like a lot of that music, I completely understand, and nothing wrong. I just, it was not what it was not Fly. And sorry if I took probably 3 of my no. It wasn't some of the ones that we all thought on the radio. I did end up finding a lot of. He has a lot of good music. He is insane talented.
Yeah.
But I struggle. Country was easier for me.
Oh no.
Well, we all know how
that's so sad.
We all know how that's going for you.
Well, it turned me. So eventually I'm going to be in here. If I get ripped enough, sure, I'm going to be shirt cut down. I'm going to have the gold chain, some abs coming out, and I'm going to be singing over, two women fighting over me. But one of them is my dog and the other's my wife, and both of them are fighting for me to leave the bed. So,
did you get your workout in before the Paperboy?
I did. It has been a crazy crash course because I ended up having some stuff to have to stay late a little bit at work. Came home, worked out. Skin Man was here. We haven't done a show in a while. Yeah. Everything was messed up with the show. Went live on the wrong page. Killed it abruptly. Went to my other. I mean, there was just so many things that went wrong. Meant to cut the show off early. We got carried away. Got here. My mic wasn't working, and here we are.
That pretty much sums up my day too. It's been really weird. Gremlins, and I had a gal, the gal, my partner at work, her dog had passed away, so she was off. She took off Monday and Tuesday, and it's sad. I mean, I get it, but I think dogs are put here to remind us that life is short and to savor every moment instead of worry.
Yep.
And it kind of fit in. I mean, Lenny was that way too. I mean, I don't know if you listened to or watched that interview. That was the only interview that I sent in the group. That was the only interview I watched. Kind of the fun that I enjoy of doing the artist dives is going and watching some interviews and trying to get a feel for them. But everything I was feeling about Lenny, he said it all in that interview, and I'm like, yeah, there you go. He's he was talking about a sad song, and I didn't go, but it was off of oh gosh, I can't remember what album say, because the interview kind of took off. It cut, didn't start at the beginning, so it jumped ahead. So I didn't hear what song he was talking about, but I want to go back and try to find it, because I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to you sent it today. For me was the same. Like, everything was a dumpster fire, and when I put out the dumpster fire, it was a fucking forest fire. And then after that, something else would just fall and break, and then like somebody be like, I'm hungry, and I'd be like, starve. Yep. I'm sorry, baby, what do you want to eat? I didn't need to be like that to you.
Yeah. My favorite quote of his, though, is I don't play tuba. I don't know where it came from, but I'm like, that's the only thing I can relate to with Lenny Kravitz. I don't play tuba either. Got two women fighting over me. I ain't got cool style. I ain't got cool hair. I ain't got, lots of money. I can't play guitar.
Beautiful children, beautiful. No, I've got all that. I've got the beautiful children part, and I'd like to say I've got beautiful hair. So
wasn't he with Lisa? Was it Lisa Bonet?
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah. They made a child together.
Huge crush on her. That's Zoe is their child.
Just like like the perfect mix of them two. Yeah. One of the most beautiful creations.
I had
and then like she and then they broke up or whatever else, got divorced, and then she's like, well, I'm gonna just go get me a Jason Momoa, and then it's just like, well, damn.
No, I don't think he's hurting for love.
Like a bunch, those people, that Hollywood scene, it's unique.
It's just like, okay, well, like Lenny Kravitz would be my upgrade. Like, oh my God, I've got Lenny Kravitz.
I think he would be.
I can do better.
I'll say this about Lenny Kravitz. He's one of those ones, like, if you're like, if I was ever gonna, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be gentle.
Okay.
Something
did Josh freeze?
He did for a minute. He's back
now.
Y'all
freezed. I didn't freeze, but
it's what's hard to know is for us, because for both of us it looks like you freeze, but I think to you, and we keep talking, and then for you it looks like both of us freeze. So it's weird.
In shock, like a lot of shock.
I don't know. Maybe, like I said, I don't know. His butt in all of the videos. There's at least three videos with his butt in it. And I'm like,
and chest and abs. He makes sure he gets those chest and abs in there. Oh yeah, there ain't an album cover, a song, a video, a red carpet, something. You'll get some chest, abs, and ass from that guy. He's like the freaking Rihanna of, he makes sure you're seeing some DNA everywhere we go, baby.
In the wind.
I mean, if you're putting in all of that work though, because you have to work to look like that all the time for years.
I bet he doesn't do anything. He's Lenny Kravitz. He's just
I'll bet he does.
From the gods, just like that.
I don't know, man. He's insane because I know he was. I don't know if he still is. That was what I used to. He was like a vegetarian or vegan hardcore for a while. He still like is. Crazy yoga, crazy meditator, crazy. Like I knew some of that stuff about him more than I knew about his music, because that was a lifestyle I lived for a while. And he was one of those guys. You're like, okay, well, if it works for him, I could probably, I'll
give it a shot.
Yeah.
And he's celibate. I don't know what he means by that though, because every time I listen to his music, especially his new album, I'm like, "Are you?"
Yeah. I mean, it would definitely. I mean, it's not for lack of having if that's the case.
Maybe
I get that.
I don't think he would have no problem. Yeah.
Maybe he just has people blow at it from across the room, like everybody's fully clothed, and then you just go.
Who knows with these Hollywood type? Who knows? I only do the virtual stuff. I hook up the little helmet and we do it through tantric vibes, I don't know.
All right. Let's see what we found on our list. I'm ready to get, like I said, I'm still glad we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's been kind of a weird ride with Scott Weiland, Lenny Kravitz, and then I'm so ready for Ice Cube now. I'm just ready to get a little gangster because I'm getting all feely. Oh God!
Ready to go save the world? Be a better person.
Put on my Captain Save-A-Ho cape on.
Lenny Kravitz does not save hoes.
I think he was talking about revolving over to the ice cube, not the iced tea. We've been on this. No offense.
All right. Yes. We have to make it
clear. Rehash it all.
Yeah, I'm ready to get a little gangsta. All right, I'm ready when you are, Coach. Oh, ladies first.
I should have made this rule first, but I don't think the person that picks the artist should get to go first.
I'm going to use my thingy. I'm going to use the thing. There's no button or bell or anything. Do you have a sound, Coach? Yeah. I'm going to use my Zoom. I'm going last. I can't remember what the rule was, but I'm going to go.
You got to pick who you want to go in place of you.
Yep. Oh, that's it. Okay. Yep. We'll do you, Coach.
Okay. Coach.
Our
switcheroo.
Our first mulligan has been used. So I didn't and maybe in the intro I did I don't mean I found a large portion of his music I like. I kind of hit a vibe for honestly like a day and a half where it was just like a bunch of stuff that again there was all great music. He's so freaking talented. It's just not my thing. But then I got into the right groove and I got into that funk rock and roll and that rock and roll side of him. And only one of the songs I'm going to use is one that was really airplayed and radio and all that that I remember. But my number 5 is Rock and Roll Is Dead.
Regretting it already.
And if I'm honest with you, the first time I heard that one, great intro, and then he kind of hits I don't know, but then you got to get a minute into that song and all of a sudden it all starts making sense. And there's a couple of his where if you don't truly give it that whole time, and when you're trying to make it through 150 songs, 200 songs, it is hard to listen to every one. So if 15 seconds don't catch it, and sometimes I fast forward 45 seconds in or something like that, and if somewhere right in there don't catch me, then I skip past. If it does, I'll go start it over and then I listen to it front to back. So that's kind of my method when I'm going through. He has a large catalog. I did not realize he had quite so many songs. But that song made it on the list, and it made it on the favorites list. I mean, that will be played. So my number 4, along the same lines, but probably more definitely rock and roll, but it's the minister of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And that song has like a funk beat to it. It has that's kind of more of the Lenny Kravitz. I would have thought more of his music would have been like. Does that make sense? It was less lovey-dovey. It was less whatever. It was just rock and roll song. So that was number 4. My number 3. This one would have been like a badass 70s funk song. TK421. And that's my TK421. I mean, he's just getting it on there.
You just like the video.
I love that song for its personality.
I didn't even watch the video. This is all Spotify for me. I didn't YouTube none of them. This is all Spotify.
I think that's the most raciest of the video.
Okay. Okay. And it sounds sexy. I get it. So you're right. If that one, I mean, I was getting down at I walked into work with my headphones on, still getting that, and I was probably doing just a little bit of that. Boss was like, "Whoa, bud, get back a little bit. That's a little too much for me. Too much for me at 6:45." I'm just like,
I love it.
My number 2. This one would be the radio airplay song, but this is the one that this and one other were already on my favorites. But Are You Gonna Go My Way?
Hit the sounder.
Because I got to know. Are you gonna go my way?
Yeah. And that one was, like I said, the Jimi Hendrix. That was the first video that I remember seeing. That he was really playing up the Jimi Hendrix feel. His band. I was like, spitting image of Jimi Hendrix. The froze,
the way he played the guitar,
guys with the froze, definitely very vintage. That's
I think it was everything. Yeah, the way he played the guitar. I mean, that's where I said I guess I'm probably along the lines of what you're saying there. Like, even when I went to look for him, I guess I thought, because we've talked about it on some other shows, me and you've never dug deep. I think I thought that was what more of his music would be like. And again, I not disappointed, just different. So my number 1, this song I did not find until yesterday, and I am so glad I did. And I played it right before the show, and if he wasn't so famous, I'd get away without. I'd play it more often. But it's Mr. Cab Driver, dude. And there's a part of it that Mr. Cab Driver, fuck you. Wait, even he says that, it's just like. Okay, and that song's like a powerful, like political, racial. There's like so many undertones in that song. I was trying to go see exactly if there was more like connotation to it, like through history with cab drivers, or if there was some personal or what, because that song, I don't think he was talking about a cab driver. That seemed like cab driver was a lot of different people in society, almost, if that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So,
got deep on you.
And I stole one from each of you. Glad I got to go first.
There you go.
Yeah.
To make this easier, I don't have to spin again because we know who's going last. So
yeah. We'll get into it. And like in that interview, he said that there's all of them bits of songs, like I said, the rock songs. He's got all of that on every album. He doesn't stick to one type of thing. So in one album, you're going on a ride from, you've got them, Are You Gonna Go My Way songs, them harder rocky songs, and then you got the love songs, and then the spiritual songs and all that. It's all on one album, every album. And I didn't realize, I think Are You Gonna Go My Way, that was his like 4th album, I think.
Is that on the one? I think it's on the one, the 5, because there's like a 5 on. I don't know if that's his 4th album, but
no, the album is Are You Gonna Go My Way. I think that's his 4th one. 5 has got Fly,
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Because
other,
mine was like probably his most rock-y album, I guess. I mean, there's plenty of that other stuff, but that was one like kind of there was just more rock on there, I guess.
well,
Right. I think so.
I remember looking at the album and like, why the hell is it's number 5? You know, I mean, because to me, he just came out. You know, and I went back. 89 is when he started.
Yeah.
The first album was 89, and it was pretty much the same thing he had always been doing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's got the hard rocky songs. It's got the, you know, the same kind of formula. And I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a formula because he doesn't. I mean, it's Lenny Kravitz. He does what he fucking wants to do, you know, and that's the way it's always been. And I don't think he's wanted for much in his life. So maybe that's why he doesn't write sad songs. Maybe he can't because he's so positive. He can't write a sad song.
Yeah. I mean, just like his upbringing with his mother was an actress. I can't remember what his father did.
A producer, I think.
But yeah, and he'd like hang around Prince and Michael Jackson and stuff all the time, and it's just like, what does he have to be sad about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
like,
can't find a picture of him where he's not gorgeous.
Yeah, he's never been ugly. But it's just like, and when I think about it, though, it's usually people that seem like they have those types of lives to where you don't feel sorry for them that are the most sad.
Yeah, the darkest or whatever.
They're the most hurt, and they're trying to use alchemy to help themselves not just completely lose their minds. Because I mean, nobody in his circle is probably anybody that he trusts, because you don't know who's there to be there for you. And he probably has like his foundations or whatnot. He's watched his mentors die like violently. He has to have a lot of pain, and he's pushing that pain with power.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, when I hear him talk and these songs, I don't ever think that he's fake. I think he's really got the shit together. You know, I mean, whatever he's been through. I mean, he's just really that positive, and it's kind of disgusting because, man, I want that, but I'm not there.
Yeah,
I'm jaded and bitter, and spinning around over you is my number 5. Ooh. And that's off of the Are You Gonna Go My Way album. And that's probably a sad Lenny Kravitz song. There's one other one, but it you know, he's spinning around over you. I'm drawing the blank on how it sounds right now off my head, but it made my number 5. My number 4 is probably another one of him trying to be sad. 2 girls fighting over him again. 2000 is a single. It's not even on an album. It's just but the video has got Gina Gresham, which I've always been a fan of her. She's an actress.
Why was I thinking about the little girl that was talking about the world ending? I think her name is Gretchen Wilson. Never mind. Don't ignore me.
Yeah, maybe
different.
But, very beautiful woman. And it's like I said, a great song. And you know, he's got Gina at home, and he goes down the corner to get a beer, and falls in love with the gal serving him a beer, and they're, you know, fighting over at the concert. It's like, yeah, rough life, but it's a beautiful song. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is Something Beautiful it's off of the album Back of Town by Trombone Shorty, and he's featured on it. And just trying to see some of his collabs, and it was a good one. I ended up adding, since my number 1 got bumped off, I added another one
by somebody.
It happens. Number 2 is Eleutheria off the Are You Gonna Go My Way? And like I said, most of that's my sweet spot right there. That album, that 1993 album. It's a reggae song. You know, you got the hard rock, you got the love songs, and you got a reggae song up in this mix. So it's like, there you go. And my number 1 sense is Borders. And again, I can't remember what this one sounds like, but it's St. John featured with Lenny Kravitz. And it's a good one too. Like I said, it threw me off, but it's good. Trust me.
Right.
Go listen to the playlist.
Sweet. Shout out to Annie Mac. Hi. Welcome to the show.
Good list.
What's up?
God bless.
Yeah, it's being super laggy. All right. Yep. So let's get you your little.
Yeah, it's me. I started all of this. I started
You started it, and you're gonna finish it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the story again about how I dove into Lenny Kravitz because I tell it all the time because it's hilarious. But yeah, I grew up listening to like rock and roll Lenny Kravitz. That's the first Lenny Kravitz that I heard, and so that's when I started digging into his music, and it didn't sound like that. I was like, blah, and I just went on with my life. I was like, oh, he's not rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then I just listened to something every now and again. Raised Vibrations, his album came out in 2018. They had some bad reviews about it or whatnot, so I really didn't take the time to really listen to it. And then in 2024, as I was going through my mental health journey, Lenny Kravitz's album Blue Electric Light came out. And that song that you were talking about, Coach, TK421, came out. And I saw the video before I listened to the song, and I was single and I was very much lonely. And I watched it over and over and over and over again to the point to where YouTube was like, oh, you really like Lenny Kravitz. Let's give you a playlist of some of his songs.
You know he's got other songs too, right?
That TK421.
All million views. Sontia Soul.
And so that playlist started playing, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know that he even sounded like this. And so I took the time to listen to every one of his albums, and I realized that Lenny Kravitz this whole time has been preaching love, self-acceptance, and power this whole time. Didn't even know. Had no idea.
Yeah.
So that is going to lead me to my number one, which is off of Blue Electric Light, which is my favorite song, and it's Human. And it's talking about being unapologetically you. I'm going to raise my head to the sky. I'm going to walk in step in pride because I came here to be alive. I'm here to be human. That is my jam. And it's my motto. It's my mantra. It's my lifeblood. I love that song. I love that concept. And I love that for this album, after going through all of them, that this seems like the album where he's really free. Like he's really just being who he is now, like who he's grown into. Because a couple of the albums sounded kind of like he was just, some of them were preachy, like Baptism, the album that he did in 2004. And I know Prince was a Jehovah's Witness. And I actually converted to a Jehovah's Witness when I was 15 until I was about 20 when I wanted to have lots of premarital sex, which I didn't get to because I kept getting into relationships. I should have just been a hoe. But like he...
The deathbed. I think that's going to be all of our regrets. On our deathbed. I should have just been a hoe.
I should have just been a hoe.
No, I know that from like 14 to 18. I got my hoeing out. I mean, not, don't get me wrong, but I think I got my hoeing out. I'm pretty fortunate.
I'm happy I love that for you.
Thank you.
But what I was saying about the Lord was that after I converted, I learned like the stuff. And so in the in that album in Baptism, there's a lot that he was saying that was kind of part of the church criteria or information. So I heard that in there. Yeah. That doesn't have anything to do with my number two. Oh, yes, it does. It does. I didn't even know that tied in. Number two song, What Did I Do With My Life? And I actually heard this on the NPR Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
His concert. He did like his 15 minutes. And essentially that song is talking about like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you going to do something with your life? Are you going to be somebody? Are you going to speak up for yourself? Are you going to grow? Or are you just going to sit there, And it's not preachy like that, but it's more like you have the opportunity to do anything that you want to with your life. So what are you going to do? Just like ask yourself that question. And when it came on this morning while I was driving, and I was like asking myself that question, because that's been sort of something that's been marinating in my mind. Just kind of watching the disarray of the world right now. So what do you want to do? What do you want to speak up about? What do you want to be known for in this side of history? So that reminded me of, I'm either, nut up or shut up. Number 3 was Taken by Someone. So I had to change it to something else on that album, Circus, which is Can't Get You Off My Mind.
Yeah.
And I can't get that song off my mind because I keep walking around going, I got a pocket full of money. And I just got my tax refund back. So I do. I have digital money in my pocket that is going to be spent in about 45 hours.
Is this podcast over? The Amazon list. Lenny Kravitz posters all over the wall.
I got some. That. I'll send you one if you want to buy me one. Oh,
we can do life-size cutouts of Lenny Kravitz at the job. So
Man, he was in Vegas or something. It's not a whole lot. Well, it's not like a ton of money. He's supposed to be at a festival somewhere. I saw it to where it was like $300 for a ticket.
Yeah,
and I was like, I have $300.
enough gas to get there.
And enough gas to get there. I just need to see him. And then the other, I don't know, $245 I'll just use to find cool people with fun candy. So that's it. I'm going to get this canceled. I'm so sorry. Number...
it ain't happened yet. I think we're good.
Okay, that'll work. Number 4, I am going to go ahead and go to Raise Vibration, which is the 2018 album that I completely ignored, that I fully love now.
Yeah.
Fully love now. The critics that were talking about it were dickheads. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just being hateful and spiteful because they were looking for some old Lenny Kravitz, and it was just too new for them. They just couldn't stand the sound, and they were like, he was trying to make a mantra like "Let Love Rule," and he just didn't. He just fell short, and so forth and so on. And I was like, not really. But yeah, Raise Vibration, off of Raise Vibration, and it's talking about raising your vibration. Like get your shit together. You're right here. We're going to need you out here. We're going to need you to just get yourself together. Hold your head up. And I like it because it just starts off with vocals and guitar. And then all of a sudden there's drums. And then vocals and guitar. And all of a sudden there's drums. And you're on this trip and you're like, where are we going with this? And then like it just progresses into this almost tribal sort of rock and roll situation, and then all of a sudden you're just punched in the face with rock, and he's like, raise vibration. You better raise. And I was like, okay, I'll get it up there, Lenny Kravitz. Jesus.
Anything for you, Lenny.
Anything for you. All right, last but not least, I didn't want to do anything obvious, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go back to Blue Electric Light, because this song is, for a while, was just played over and over and over again because it reminded me of toxic relationships, and it's Paralyzed.
Yep, I knew that's the one you were going for.
Great one.
It was about what I replaced my kickoff with, my number 1 with, but
on my honorable mention, almost used it. Great song.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing song, and I like how he just touches on every part of just getting like stuck on somebody to the point to where you can't even move, and it's not always toxic. Sometimes it's just good fun, but it's still like, how dogs get stuck. It felt like that song does. I'm under your
Great
spell.
visual.
I'm
Great visual.
hypnotized.
Did you hear the Mick Jagger one that he was featured on? God Gave Me Everything.
Yeah, I did.
I tried to get it. Yeah, Mick ruined it. Mick ruined it for me.
I wasn't too into it.
Well, I
I
missed
mean,
a couple that I was just looking at now that he did a couple. He had at least 2 songs with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And then he had one with Drake, which we know my stance on Drake. He ain't like us.
It took me a minute too. I was like, no, wait a minute.
What?
Mustard.
Yeah, like I said, Low was on my tentative. New York City, that was a pretty good one. Mr. Cab Driver, Always on the Run, and Where Are We Running? Which kind of tied in.
Oh, is that the one where he's like ooh ooh ooh? No, that's I'll Be Running Back to You. That's a different one. I forgot
There's
all
a lot
about
of
that
running
until just now.
Maybe that's how his taste fit. All the running.
Again, Dance Until Dawn was one that made me want to dance. Johnny Cash was a good one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That tied in with our tribute to Johnny Cash. I forgot he had that song.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I was just going through because that was one thing I didn't do great. I mean, because I did them all on Spotify and I didn't do a great job, but I was going through and looking where all of mine fit in, and it's crazy. My songs went from his 2nd album all the way through to his 11th album. You know what I mean? He did plenty of music.
Yeah, mine were definitely early stuff.
Yeah, Fly was what was my introduction to Lenny Kravitz. But then Let Love Rule.
Yeah.
I saw I think he was on some music award show, and like what really drew me into that and at least let me see some of his more spiritual side was just like the music went off and everybody was just singing Let Love Rule, and I thought that was the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, mine was probably Are You Gonna Go My Way was probably really for me, and I think Let Love Rule like probably got more famous because of Are You Gonna Go My Way. I mean, I do remember it, but I think that like for me growing up was the one that, you know, and then it was American Woman, and then it was, you know, those were the ones that were the big MTV plays and that.
Well, like I said, he introduced me to American Woman.
Yeah.
He introduced me to Guess Who, and I mean, I love Guess Who now. That's who originally did it, and yeah, No Sugar Tonight is probably my favorite Guess Who one.
No sugar tonight in my tea.
No sugar tonight in my
yes. Playlist as always. I have been very faithful. I haven't missed one in a long time.
This is going to be a good one.
I've already got I got mine on there already. I already got it created, so I'll probably have it created tonight.
Sup, Thomas Bean?
Let's go on.
Yeah,
the exact same temperature here.
Well, I promise next week I will have my mic ready to go. I will be more time. I will not be talking in the background, even though I think I'm muted. So those are my apologies and my promises to you guys.
Yeah, we got Family Affair, which we got to come up with. I don't know, some kind of visual.
I've been looking all the Arkansas songs up I can, so I wasn't sure where we were going with it. But that's not what you meant. I'm sorry.
I think we
When you say 1980, you mean the year.
Let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulders.
I think I don't know if it may have been when you were with us, but we've done it. But like Second Generation, we did that. I think that was probably. Do you remember doing that one, Coach?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were
that
talking
was
about
probably
me.
like one of your.
I've never done that.
Yeah. So it's kind of along lines of that, but I mean, they could be related. They could be married. They could be father and son, brother and sister, you know, cousins, you know, I mean, whatever.
Less incest music, though, is what you're trying to say. You were trying to say.
Well,
I mean, I would prefer no incest music. I mean, that's kind of where I am on that kind of spectrum. I mean,
I will use Nirvana. Now I can't. Oh, sorry.
That's where I'd like to be on that. So
I'm kind of disappointed in that.
Anyway,
You don't know what you're cutting out, you know.
the following week is Ice Cube, and like I said, it's been a journey with Scott Weiland because definitely, Lowe's. I was craving Lowe's and couldn't find it with Lenny, but very positive, and like I said, I don't think none of it Lenny's is fake, but I had to like create a relationship in my mind just to kind of get through some of it. So I've been dating this girl at Spangles for weeks now. It's been greatest relationship of my life. Don't argue at all. It's been great. I'm gonna have to break up with her tomorrow in my head, so it's a little sad. And then we're going to Ice Cube. I'll just pimp slap her and go find another one.
You don't slap you.
That went a weird way.
I did. He's been a little bit like that lately. We need to
talk to him about that.
We need to Tinder this guy up, and
I'm sitting right here, guys.
Well, it's better if you have an intervention when somebody's in the room than if you do it when they're not there. So
That's true.
Because that's just talking shit on somebody if they're not there. If they're in the room, it's an intervention.
I need something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still voting for a trip off the planet. Would be great. That would be awesome.
Just go outside more. Like,
I want to come back. I don't want to leave. I just want to go away for a minute and come back.
I think he's talking about going in a magic tour.
On the magic.
Yeah, that would be fun. But anyway,
Mush, we need room.
Yeah.
Mush, we need room.
Oh, okay. Speaking of all of that, I did finally watch Fear and Loathing in Aspen. Hunter S. Thompson go political run to be sheriff of Aspen. And
what? Fear and Loathing in Aspen?
Yeah, it's pretty new.
You said you finally watched it. Like we had a discussion about this or something.
I posted about it when I first seen it, and it wasn't on any of the platforms that I watch TV on. So I think it's Tubi that it's on now. So it's on there, and the guy I don't know who the guy, huh?
Oh, it's got Cheryl Hines in it.
Yeah, I don't know who he is, but he freaking nailed the role of Hunter S. Thompson. Pretty good. I'm gonna say better than Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp was actually hanging out with Hunter and cheating. So that's what we're going to call it. I'm not talking shit on Johnny. I love Johnny. Mm-hmm. But he nailed it pretty good. And it was good. Had them good Colorado feels, and that would be fun.
Okay. It looks interesting. I'm watching the trailer for it right now. So
and like I said, if you don't know his freak power platform, that's where he was, he was running for sheriff of Aspen because they were trying to run out. They were trying to go they had a bunch of rich people in there trying to run out all the hippies and freaks. And so he tried and failed and it's a good book and a good, I don't know. I think that was just as Rolling Stones. It probably had been put in a book, but it was a story for the Rolling Stones. And he kind of went all the way with it like he always did.
The prequel Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a top 5 you need to watch if you need to watch movies. I don't know.
Rum Diaries and Buffalo Road.
Like the only time anybody ever put that on was late at night, and then I'd just go to sleep.
Yeah, you have to watch that in Clockwork Orange to fully that American History X, Clockwork Orange. Those are 3 movies you need to fully understand life, and they're all different and very different aspects. I'm just telling you.
What did we come up for 99?
What's that?
What did we come up for 99? I think that was your suggestions on.
99 bottles of beer.
I thought we were gonna
drinking songs. 99 bottles of beer. I like that.
99 we had it right there. The year 99 would have been a great one, but that's fine. We could have done the Y2K show, but 99 bottles of beer also.
You didn't say we had a whole. You could have said something instead of in front of company.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Bringing it out now.
My employees say that all the time. You know.
Timothy says Life of Pi did that for me too.
That's the one with the kid with the tiger.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But didn't he get eaten?
Great.
Or he wasn't really like he's actually dead? Or I remember seeing that in an altered state of mind, and I kind of left because it was a little bit too much.
Butterfly Effect also goes into one of those. You probably ought to see if you want to be. That's one of those movies. Like if you want to understand, like, are you okay with all the aspects of life? You know, that's why I say this, because you see so many different. Yeah.
I think you should watch The Wiz. I'll tell you about life
I'll
too.
put that on there. I'll put that on there.
Still need to come up with something for 100. My thoughts and ideas or what I had, I'm not going to do. So we're still back to the drawing board on it, but we still got
songs from the year 100.
the year 100. I like it.
Our
I-2-1.
why don't we just make this our favorite 5? R5. This is R5.
Our favorite 5.
Our
Huh.
favorite
Hard. Boy, that would be hard, but our favorite 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll think
Okay.
about it. We'll figure it out. But let's get off here. Let's wrap it up and call it a night. We got Lenny Kravitz out of our system. At least I did. I don't know about Coach.
One of us
Coach
does not
Sontia.
have Lenny Kravitz out of their system.
Never, ever in life. Hopefully, I'll hear Lenny Kravitz before my life ends. Because the last time I was going under, it was freaking Nickelback's Rockstar, and I was very disappointed.
I'll say this: the coolest thing, like for me, like when I do favorite songs from these, whether it's the country, this list, is it makes me remember those shows and all of that. Because I'll just be on my playlist, and all of a sudden, a certain song will come on, like the horn songs or whatever it is, and you're just like, oh man, you know. So it's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're making memories, man. Because
Like Lenny Kravitz says, you got to let love rule.
Let love rule. Let's end it on that note.
And fuck you, Mr. Cab Driver. Oh
Yeah, fuck that cab.
clicked it off too fast.